Hi everyone, it's me Lindsay with EquipMeOT here today to talk about how to get dressed if you're using a neck brace or a neck collar similar to the one I have here. The suggestions, tips, and equipment that I'm going to go over will also be valid for anyone who's on specific spinal alignment precautions like no bending, lifting, or twisting. So these cues and tricks will work for those situations as well. Alright, so let's jump in. Let's talk about equipment first. The things that I like to have on hand for most of my clients who are going to be getting dressed by themselves with spinal precautions and specifically a neck brace are a good dressing stick. I really love this product. This is called the Juvo dressing stick. It's got a really nice rubber end. It also has a long shoehorn end, and it's just a really easy one to use. I find it to be easier than a lot of the dressing sticks available, but really any dressing stick on the market will work for the purposes of dressing for this case. I also like to have a reacher. Typically with spinal precautions, they're not going to want a lot of excessive bending, and if you have reduced hip or knee, even ankle movement, you will need this reacher to get pants, socks, shoes, those types of things on. The other things that you're going to need to take into consideration are the type of clothes you consider wearing. So from women, when it comes to things like the bra, I like to make sure that you have a very comfortable bra, either with a front clasp, which are awesome for this situation because then you're not dealing with the twisting, or if it has a back clasp, you need to be comfortable clasping it in the front and then spinning it around and placing the arms through. That'll prevent excessive twisting and torquing here, and if you're in a neck brace or have any sort of spinal surgery or injury, that's quite painful. You can use a sports bra, but it's very difficult because they tend to be tight. So if it's a looser fitting sports or athletic style top or bra, it can be done. The other consideration is the types of shirts you're going to wear. So I like shirts with a loose stretch, especially at the collar, because most of my clients do their dressing with the neck collar on, and this is to protect their necks throughout the process. So you need something that's going to stretch significantly at the neck. For men, this may mean that they need like a very loose knit workout t-shirt. Those tend to have a lot of give to them. Or even a V-neck. V-necks work pretty well because you're going to have a larger opening and you can get the collar away from it. Sometimes if the collar is pressing on the actual collar of your shirt, it can be a little uncomfortable over time because it's a lot of pressure. The other types of shirts that work really well are front fastening shirts. Button downs, zip up, that type of thing. Those are great if you're really struggling to get things on over your head or you have very specific additional precautions that mean you can't go over your head safely. So having good zip ups and button downs are another great option. I'll show you how to properly get one of those on as well. The other consideration is pants. Loose fitting, comfortable, not a lot of extra button snaps, things like that are going to be best. Socks and shoes, same consideration. Comfort is key when you're recovering in such a situation. If you're a female and you can get away with a dress and then it's just simply applying it over once, that's even easier. So that's another option. So let me show you the strategies I would use to help somebody get dressed or teach somebody how to get dressed in this situation. So I did select, I have this tank top here which has a nice loose top, but I'm going to show you with this t-shirt because it also is a nice looser fit with a lot of stretch at the neck. Now, unlike typical dressing, I'm actually going to apply it over my head first because again, I have this neck collar on and I want to make sure it'll fit over top of it. So I've already tested this to make sure it will. It's got a lot of stretch in it and we're going to go over the top. And I'm not going to lift my arms over my head best I can because I really don't want to elevate my shoulders. And we're just going to apply it. Under the collar like that. Okay, so we're going to start there. Then we're going to easy press the arms through, keeping them at shoulder height the best I can. At that point, I can adjust it if I need to. So getting it on, I'm going to go over the head first. Getting it off, I'm going to go over the arms first. So again, this is why a stretchy material is so important. So I know this one has quite a bit of give under the armpit. I'm not going to do anything sort of reaching over top my head like that. That's not safe with your neck precautions. So to remove the shirt, you're going to bring it up. You're going to take out the arms first. So bring the elbows out. And then carefully over the head. Always keeping your shoulders or your arms below shoulder height if you can absolutely do that. So that's the safe way to get a pullover shirt on, okay? Let's talk about a zip up or button down shirt. That's where your dressing stick is going to come in. Okay, so using a dressing stick does take some practice because it's a little bit counterintuitive as you use it. I like to get one arm in In this situation, I'm gonna get my right arm in. And then before you go to whip it around, because we don't want to twist and it's difficult to manipulate, we're gonna find the other arm, so the other sleeve. We're gonna take the hook on this, and we're gonna hook it into the armpit area, or the shoulder area, really, not the armpit. The shoulder area, like that. And then at this point, we can use the stick to guide, just like this shirt around back without ever having to lift my arms above my shoulder, and I didn't have to do any twisting. That's what's so important about using a dressing stick. It's going to prevent unwanted twisting, okay? Now I've got this in place. Everything's in front of me. I'm keeping a good spinal alignment. At this point, if it was a button down, I'd button it to where it was comfortable. In this situation, zip up. I can zip myself in and I'm very comfortable. And I've kept all of my spinal precautions intact. So that's how I would do a button down or zip up shirt. I have some basic pants here, nice loose fit. If you're using your reacher at this point, you can guide the pants down over your feet. Another way you can do this, if you do have decent hip mobility, is you can then bend like this. This is allowed aside from the occasional situation where we're dealing with a low lumbar or sacral fracture. Then you need to talk to your surgeon to know if you're allowed to cross your legs like this. Some pelvic fractures as well. But if you're dealing with a high neck or high back injury, crossing the legs should be an allowable movement. So if you're capable of doing this, then you can go ahead and apply. And I'm not looking because I can't, so I'm doing this by feel. So you may end up with a twisted pant leg, and that's okay because you can stand up and adjust it. Okay, this is why it's so important you do this sitting down. This would not be safe to do standing up. And then I'm just going to lift the other leg in. And gently, carefully, if I have a walker, I'd have it in front of me. Pull them up over my hips. And on. So then I'm fully dressed. At this point, I may do socks and shoes. If you're able to bend and twist the leg up over onto your lap, that's how I would do my socks and shoes. If you cannot do that, a sock aid and a reacher can allow that, as well as this useful extra tool here of the long-handled shoehorn. If you need more information on how to use a long-handled shoehorn or sock aid, I'll leave a link here from my hip dress video, which goes into a lot of detail of how to use those particular pieces of equipment if you really cannot bend down. So there you have it, how to safely get dressed with a neck brace or neck collar, as well as taking into consideration all those spinal precautions. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. If you got some value out of this video, consider giving me a thumbs up. And as always, if you need more information on how to stay safe and independent in your home and community, consider subscribing to EquipMeOT. Thank you.